My name is Randy and I'm the Assistant Technical Director for New Hope Church at the 288 campus. Today I'm going to teach you how to run a camera for live worship. But before we begin, I must stress this as the guiding principle of the production department, and that is our job is to enhance the worship and not distract from it. But with time and application to this craft, your time as a camera operator will be a fun and fulfilling experience. Let's get started. This is the Blackmagic Ursa 4K professional studio camera. Most of the equipment used for video at the church is from Blackmagic. This is as professional as it looks, so most of the settings have been taken care of before an operator handles it. So unless a staff member directs you to, please avoid touching the settings. Before we get into the controls, I'd like to look at the locks and drags on the tripod. Under the camera we have the pan drag and the tilt lock and drag. Pan refers to moving left and right, and tilt up and down. These cameras are bottom heavy, so it would be best, when not in use, to lock the tilt to prevent the camera from moving on its own. The main controls are here at the handles. To your right are the zoom and speed controls, and to your left is the focus wheel. Let's start with the zoom and speed controls. On the right handle you'll notice you'll have a zoom toggle. This toggle controls the zoom of the lens, creating a wide shot or a tight shot. To move to a wide shot, move the toggle to the left, and to create a tighter shot, move the toggle to the right. Above the zoom toggle, you'll see the speed control knob. The speed control knob controls the speed at which the zoom toggle moves. The speed knob has been set to its lowest setting, which is also its slowest setting, and the setting most used during worship. You're allowed to use this knob to create dynamic movements, but a word of caution, the knob has a fine line between enhancing the worship and creating a distraction. To the right of the speed control knob, you will see the memo toggle. The memo toggle allows the operator to save a shot in the handle's memory. The memo toggle works in conjunction with the speed control knob. If the speed control knob is set to a slow setting, then the memo toggle will then create a shot that is saved very slowly. The last piece on this control handle is the quick zoom button, which is located under the right side of the handle. Quick zoom button allows the operator to zoom into a shot quickly, overriding the speed control knob. But as soon as it is released, the shot will revert back to its original position, unless you trigger the zoom toggle to hold the new shot. Moving on to the left handle, you'll find the focus wheel. The focus wheel allows the operator to grab focus in the frame. With the wheel, you can throw focus to create a more cinematic fadeaway. This technique of throwing focus is an advanced technique and should be reserved for more advanced camera operators. Now let's move on to the monitor. Before we look at the main part of the monitor, I'd like to bring your attention to the tally lights on the top of the monitor. The tally lights allow the operator to know whether or not they are being previewed or on live. When your tally light is on, it should be green for previewed or red for on live. As well, the tally lights are marked on where the camera is positioned in the church. Positions of the cameras are also the camera operator's call sign when in use. Camera 1 and 2 are located in the sound booth. Camera 3 is located to the left and camera 4 is located to the right. When you start working cameras, most camera operators start with camera 1 or camera 2 as they are deemed easier. But all cameras have their challenge and they must work together to create a seamless experience. When you first look at the monitor, you will notice these red lines outlining everything in the frame. This is a feature inside the camera called Focus Assist. These lines surround everything that is in focus. If you see no lines, then the object is out of focus. Turning the focus wheel will bring these objects into focus. As well as you'll notice on some of the monitors, they'll have white boxes in them. These are cursors, programmed markers in the camera for specialized use. As we look at the monitors, that brings us to our next section, composition. When we speak of composition in photography, the basic definition is how subjects are placed in the frame. One of the basic rules of composition is the rule of thirds. Take a look at the screen here. I'm going to draw some lines. These guidelines will represent the thirds. You'll notice that the lines intersect at these points. These are the points of interest where action should take place. Here's some footage taken from worship. You'll notice how the leader is resting on the guideline. As well, it's worth pointing out that he has plenty of negative space in front of him. This is called leading space. This space is used by the camera switcher to create interesting images. As well, it is to avoid having subjects fading into each other. The last piece of composition is headroom. This is the space above the subject. It is important to have enough headroom for the subject. Too much and the subject looks shorter than they are, and the image looks uneven. Too little and you risk cutting off the head of the subject in the frame. These are the basics of operating a camera for New Hope Church. Now that I've gone over these basics, it's time to put them into action with some hands-on practice. Thank you for watching.